supposedly there's a tank over there that I can't feel.
So we're looking at the two little flags on the deck that could be a dry well.
I feel something solid
Between those two,
but I can't really chase it enough to tell if it's a rock or what.
Yeah.
Because it's just, I can't go in any direction really other than
Right, because you can't
side.
probe under the deck.
So.
And your camera is taking you from the clean out
to here.
To this area here where where your stairs are built.
And there's really no good way to probe.
And there's no way to probe down into here to get to any kind of tank.
I tried to go on an angle as much as I could, but it could just be very deep.
Yeah, and it is.
Because it takes a pretty steep down out of the house.
So when the camera went out of the house, it went down into the ground, so that could be pretty steep. And this is higher than over there,
right.
Most definitely. So if it's draining into a dry well that's there, according to the pictures we have, that's the measurement of where one of the dry wells is. Yeah. Now it shows that there's two round circles.
Two covers or two dry wells?
Yeah. And then there's a gray water line and a septic line, is what you're seeing in the basement.
Yeah, so that second one that they didn't draw tie points to might be that gray water line.
Okay, so one of the dry wells could be gray, one could be tank.
That's how they used to do it way back when, was
they did
water and a gray water. So.
Right, they had the toilet going into a tank and then into a dry well, and then they had washing machine and sink water going into a dry well by itself because it didn't need to go into the tank.
Right.
That's how they used to do it back in the day.
What year is the house?
The house is older. All this was done probably around 95.
So yeah, it's all plastic. That makes sense. That's definitely.
Yeah, so somebody did something around 95, I think. So. We just don't have any records of it. The sellers say they don't have any records of it. And all we have is that one little diagram.
That tells me it's under the deck, essentially.
So,
yeah, because
right now,
I can't tell which way the tank is laying because I come into a plastic baffle, so I can't see if I'm coming in the side of it and it's laying this way, or if I'm coming into the front of it and it's laying this way. I don't feel it over here.
Yeah.
Theoretically, if it was coming straight in, I would be able to feel the outlet end,
Exactly.
on the other side. But if it's coming in the side, it's going to be like exactly the
right under the staircase.
I tried to probe, but
it's impossible to probe. You've got to put this probe down into the ground, and there's it doesn't fit between many of these.
I just got lucky that those ones are just wide enough to fit mine.
Supposedly, I've been told this deck is on a hinge, but it's a big piece of decking that is not moving anytime soon.
Yeah. I mean, that little slab was heavy enough to...
Yeah, we took this up thinking that there was the tank was right here, and probing right here, there's a lot of gravel, so that's nice, but there's nothing that we could find that was a tank underneath this deck. So it's got to be over here in the staircase area, and it's over here where those little flags are on the deck. Probing down through this hole right here in the decking, he was able to probe.
These are the only two ones that can fit.
Yeah, those are the only two places that he could fit his probe through because everything else is too close together to probe. He's brought his camera and all his equipment, but because of all this construction of decking and staircase and everything else, we're thinking you've got a tank over there somewhere underneath this staircase system. We've got at least one dry well here, and there are two lines in the basement, one for gray water, which would be sink and bathtub, and one for toilet, which would be would go into the tank and then go into maybe another dry well from the pictures that we have.
Yeah.
But other than that, we're not able to...
Can't do much with the deck.
Nope. Nope. The deck would have to be removed or moved, and this is not happening anytime today.
No, because, you know, it's like attached to this whole staircase.
Yeah, it's attached to the staircases. It's not something that's easily moved.
Right.
So I'll give you an idea. We're 1, 2, 3,
It's not even
4,
like I could pull up
5,
some boards 'cause they're
6.
just nailed.
Yeah,
You know, if
yeah.
it's-
There's no screws in there.
there's no
It's all
screws.
nailed. Mm-hmm. So this is not going to be a successful septic inspection because of the lack of ability to get underneath the ground.
I
But
mean, we do know some things. It's completely gutted, so there's been no activity. So if there was any failure or high levels, it's completely gone away now. I mean,
oh yeah,
no one's been here. There's nothing going into it.
right. So it's, you know, it's been
not likely
sitting.
to be failing, you know.
No, I don't think it's failing at all. I just,
Time to rework.
it was hard to figure out exactly what's here, and
Right.
there's no way to do it without equipment that moves this deck,
Yeah.
moves those stairs. So what you've got is what you've got in regards to a septic and the little plan that we have. I will look online and see if we can find anything at all that's written out, but I doubt it.
Back then, it just depended on the town.
Yeah.
Fairleigh was a town
Yeah,
that
Fairleigh
required a
was
plan
one
or
of the
not.
small towns that, meh, yeah. So that's our septic thing today. I will send this over to you so that you can take a look at it. But unfortunately, it's not telling us much except for these two little flags showing where there's probably a dry well.